Hey, what's up? Nick here, the developer of Inspire, and I'm back with a new devlog in my newly created studio. I haven't been able to find the money shot yet in terms of positioning, so I'm just in front of my desk, but I wanted to take you with me on another devlog for the game Inspire. Inspire is coming out really soon now. I'm finalizing the last few details before I can announce a release date. So today I wanted to talk a bit about how the game world of Inspire is actually set up. I've mentioned before the game is a semi-open world and it's a connected open world, so you can go from each zone towards the next one in any kind of direction that you want. You can decide for yourself which adventure you want to go on because each zone has their own gameplay mechanics. And I don't want to spoil those gameplay mechanics yet, because some of them are a really big part of the game and some of them are also like something I don't think you expect. But one thing that I do want to dive deeper into is the seasonal system in the game. My game features a fully dynamic seasonal system with all the 4 seasons, which each have their own implications for certain zones, what you can experience there. And I really want to make sure with the seasonal system that you can give an incentive to come back to a certain zone. For instance, like in the winter, lakes may be frozen. In the summer, there may be forest fire in certain zones. And that's something that I really wanted to incorporate in the game, because I didn't want to have like a really big open world and then not being able to put a lot in it. So I'm really trying to make sure that each time you enter a zone, something is different, be it different enemies at night, being for instance a flesh-eating plant which suddenly is there, or some beehives that you might encounter every now and then. There's a lot of things that can happen, but they not happen all the time, which I think is really cool. And even for me as a developer, I want to create a game that I could play myself, and I've been playing it more and more recently because I need to really iron out all the bugs, and I'm still discovering stuff or come across stuff that I forgot I put in there, which is really fun for me as a developer, and I really can't wait for you all to experience it too. To accompany this seasonal system, there of course has to be a dynamic weather system. Thankfully I didn't have to make this one from the ground up, because there's a great asset on the asset store called Cozy Weather, which is really tailor-made for stylized visuals, which I like really well, and you can really tweak it to your own liking. So you can tweak all the different weather values. You can really make sure that a certain weather can appear through some custom scripting, of course, at a certain time. So I hooked that up, all the storms, the rain, the snow. I made some custom particles for that, and I made some custom sound effect for that as well. So everything becomes much more visceral, much more immersive in my game, which I really like. And this weather system is a big factor in this, because sometimes you might have come across the same zone, but it's all engulfed with fog, or it's like a massive thunderstorm happening which can damage you as the player. So it helps into, again, that feeling that every time you come somewhere, even though you have been there, even though you know where everything is, there are random stuff and dynamic stuff happening depending on whether you enter that specific zone. Talking about dynamic events, well, one thing that playtesters already discovered in the Verdant Vale level where they used for playtesting is that there is like a really big enemy that only spawns at night. So a couple of people didn't expect this and really almost shit their pants, because it's a really tough enemy, and that's what I want to introduce fairly early on in the game, that I'm not that much hand-holding you. But if you go and explore, you will find cool stuff and you will find exciting enemies to face. And also the dynamic system is not purely cosmetic. It of course looks different, but it also behaves different, because I really want to make sure that each level has their own unique flavor, has their own character in a way. And that's what I made sure that take a lot of time into the level designing, make sure these levels feel alive, and also incentivize you to come back into a specific zone. Well, that's all for me, this development update. I really hope you're as excited for the game as I am. It's been a long journey, almost like, I think almost 3 years now since I started Inspire, which back in the day of course had the name Wrath of the Mad King, which is a terrible name to pronounce even for me. That's why I changed it to Inspire. But that's all for me this video. I'm gonna head back and finalize all the bugs, make sure that the game is as polished as I can get it. If you want to be the first to be notified whenever something happens in the world of Inspire, make sure to wishlist it below. It helps me as a developer a lot, because it shows how much interest in the game there is. Make sure to also keep an eye out on the socials, because I will be announcing the release date of Inspire very soon. But that's all for me today. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.